Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, it is me, your fat partner, Big Smoke. I always say this, but I always interview my loved ones. So I got a special guest, a real one. I'm glad he's home. It's my partner, King Diddy. Diddy, say what's up to the people, man.
What's happening, man? Appreciate it, man. You know
Uh,
I'm back, man. Trying to
yeah,
get back like I never left, though.
I'm glad you back, man. So for those that don't know you, I got this CDC thing in the back of me because it's real. You know what I mean? Both
For
of us been
sure.
there, but you done did more time than me. You know what I mean? And you fresh back. So that's why I'm not I'm putting that behind me because it's behind you. And I don't want you to never be wearing that orange no more,
Oh,
man.
that,
You know what I
oh,
mean?
that's over with.
For
You know they
sure.
can't trick me out the streets no more.
That's what's up, man. So for the I'm gonna give a quick little introduction. Some people know, that I dibble and dabble in music. Some people know I sing, I rap, I even used to make beats. Well, Diddy is dope as fuck on them keyboards and getting that music together. This is one of the youngsters that was some serious, not just competition, but motivation for me to try to get my sound dope. And there's some things that happened that took him away from us for what you did about 15 years.
Yep, a little bit over 15.
Okay, so let's um let's start back before you went and had to do the time. What was life for you like a youngster, and then what got you involved in the things that got you to spend a lot of your time having to eat noodles and do push-ups, man? Talk to the people.
I mean, having a family, that ain't financially literate and that's going through the struggle too. You kind of adapt to where you live at. So when you that when you getting into it, you getting older. You start doing the things you see in your environment. So you feel me, and then growing up poor, not having stuff. You out there in the street seeing people having stuff. So you involved in certain different illegal activities. You trying to get it. Motherfucker grow up with them insecurities. You feel me? And we want things that we can't afford. So we go out there and try to get it, by illegal means because we ain't got no people passing down to us no financial literacy. You feel me? So people, I got out there, doing my Dougie, got caught up with the law and things of that nature.
Where you from originally?
So I'm from Sacramento, man, G Parkway Mall.
Okay, I know a little something about that. We won't get involved in all that. I know a little something about that. So I don't know if you're trying to go directly in your case or name victims or anything like that. We don't got to do that. But can you give what you were actually charged for? And was it your first time? Like was it your first adult case, or how did it go for you?
Oh, well, initially I was charged with robbery, armed robbery,
Okay.
but during that period of time, I bailed out and I caught several other charges uh, based on a few people telling and stuff. We ain't gonna
I
get
got
into
you.
that
For
stuff,
sure.
but yeah. So then I got charged with attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon. One of these dudes brought the police to my house, told them where to find the gun at and stuff like that. But
Was that
eventually I
an
fought the
enemy, or was that an enemy who did that, or was that a loved one at the time?
he was a friend of a relative.
Okay, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I
So,
got
but a nigga fought them charges though, man. Got that up off me though, but I still had that robbery and burglaries over my head and
yeah.
that gun case. So initially, the DA, how they do us blacks. If we ain't snitching, they trying to send us away for football numbers,
For
lock
sure.
you up, whatever. So they come to me with a deal. Like we need you to just tell on so and so, and we could work a deal. And of course, I ain't doing none of that. So
Not at all.
it led to the district attorney offering me 17 years in prison, which I declined. And I had to ask my lawyer, what's the max I could get for this crime? And he told me 21 years. So I'm like, that ain't no big of a difference. So let's take it to the box.
Yeah.
So I took it to the box, ended up losing and getting 19.
Okay.
So out of that 19, did a little bit over 15 years.
Damn. Damn, I remember it's cold too, because I remember you being home and then you not being home like it was yesterday. And my daughter is 17 and she was a little over 1 at the time. So even though it seemed like it shot by, uh, my penitentiary sentence was a fourth of what you reserved, what you received. You know what I mean? And I know
Yeah.
how quick that 2 years that I was down, 2 years and some change I was down went for everybody else. But I felt all 27 months of what I was down. So for
For
you,
sure.
yeah, doing
No matter how much
150,
time you gonna feel that thing.
then you did 150 months to my 27. You know what I mean? Goodness gracious, I couldn't imagine it and don't even want to. You know what I mean? But you stuck it out, man. I've been talking to you through the years. You know what I mean? We didn't have our spurts where we talk, and you always was in good spirits. You already knew when you came home you wasn't gonna be the same dude that you left, and
Now
you
you know you
already
gotta elevate.
now. Well, it's some things that you said already at the beginning of this FL word, and it's not Fruity Loops. You said financial literacy, and it's a lot of people my age that still don't even know what the hell that means. I do know that you've put yourself in the knowing about stocks and bonds, and you've been planning on getting home. You never was mentally locked down. You know what I mean? Only physically, but your mind wasn't there. How'd you come to where you are now? To where you started understanding finances and credit and things of that nature. What got you to where you are now?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, that took me a little minute to get there, but I mean, seeking knowledge, when I first hit the pen, I was ignorant. I mean, I used to, I thought I knew a lot that I had to learn that I didn't know nothing. Any man who knows a thing knows he knows not a damn thing at all.
For sure.
So I remember an OG told me, we having a debate about something, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think I do at the time. He
Okay.
told me, man, he said we could fill this prison up with things you don't know, and then gave me a book and stopped talking to me.
For sure.
So once I read that book, it led me down a path of just learning a whole bunch of things and understanding. And I know from reading a few books which wasn't about financial literacy, but led me to that, and taking classes in prison and stuff like that really opened my mind up to the fact that as long as you work and you don't invest, you'll forever be working. You can never have financial freedom. Because
What was the
like
book?
Benjamin Franklin, I read a lot of stuff about Benjamin Franklin, some game that I got from him, that was like, that kind of changed how I think. And he says that money is a terrible master, but an excellent servant.
Okay. Dope.
So you got to really understand that.
Nah, yeah, you can't. For you to let money rule you, it'll run you in the ground. But if you let it work for you, it'll do you wonders. That's what I'm getting from that. What was the first book that OG had placed upon you?
The first book he gave me was called the Letters of William Lynch, and the second book is What They Didn't Teach You in History Class.
Okay. So them two different books, but definitely
that led me down the road of just really seeing that's a lot of stuff I didn't know, and I wanted to learn a whole bunch of stuff I didn't know.
Okay, I'm glad you took that path. I want to tell you, I was a little hard-headed. I had less time than you, and they couldn't tell me nothing. I did listen to a couple of older Muslims, but I'm glad that you ran into the fella that you were laced by. Was he a lifer?
Yep.
Absolutely. Sounds like somebody that didn't want to see another brother go down the same path as him. And even though you had a long time, he felt like you should use it to be prepared for your one shot back at the title. So I wish nothing but blessings on that man and his family for giving you the game. Because I know it's a lot of people that look up to you. And I know you're going to share some of this knowledge, or even if people don't get it directly from your lips, they're going to see the path that you're moving in. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they're gonna want the things that you are gonna obtain, like your daughter being raised right and having some guidance and things that you can't pay for. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that he bestowed the knowledge upon you that you're holding right now, and I'm very happy that you came out here on the path that you on, instead of trying to get back that 15 years that you'll never be able to get back. A lot of people, first thing that they want to do is obtain some stuff that they can touch with their hands and kill them, and you know what I mean, and do a whole bunch of that stuff that don't matter in the long haul. So I'm glad you thinking like you thinking. What would you tell if you could go back in time and talk to the young Diddy before Diddy was facing the time that he was facing? What kind of game and knowledge would you tell yourself? What would you tell the youth today that are watching?
I go back and tell myself anything, I'll probably tell myself to choose who I'll hang around wisely, because they say the same type of birds flock together. When you're young, people could be very influential on you. You know what I'm saying? So sticking to the stuff that I like doing, because I got myself into stuff that I really wasn't necessarily into, but I'm kind of just following the crowd. So I go back and tell myself to do what I like to do, follow what I was in school and everything before I went to jail and college. I had things I like doing, but jumping in the streets, trying to being influenced by certain people that's my peers or whatever. I went back and told me follow my dreams. Just do what I like doing and stay in my own lane. You ain't got to impress nobody.
Are you still doing music, or did you put that on the back burner?
I mean, it's kind right now. It's kind of I do music, but it's kind of like it comes secondary to me pretty much getting on my feet. I got a lot of obligations right now, so I can't put music first right now. But I mean, I still love music. I probably do music forever, but I really ain't that serious about it as I used to be.
Okay, when you do so say you get a chance to get a lab, what are you going to be talking about? Are you going to be talking about that same old stuff that you was talking about before you went down, or do we have a different subject matter that we're going to talk about?
Oh man, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I got all type of subject matters. I rap about the struggle. I got songs, that I ain't recorded about prison, about, dudes staying, trying to stay in school, don't try to follow these rappers, because the rappers, everybody talking about catching a body now and all this and all that. That ain't life. That ain't real. That's all, like Jay-Z say, man, it's only entertainment. So, but some of these young dudes, they hear this stuff and they really trying to live this.
Yeah.
So, of course, we see this daily. Like when I came home, man, like 3 of my partners got killed after I come home. I was talking to them. I never even got a chance to, go shake their hand. They send me messages. I'm gonna take you out to eat, brother. And the next day they did. So it's like I still, I still see what's going on. So, I could put that in my music. But overall, I don't have a super negative message. But, I do put, what I observe and what I feel into the music, though. And sometimes, if people listen to it wrong, it could come out in a negative way. But, I push nothing but positive stuff. I don't like bad vibes. I'm pure positive.
That's what's up. Are you religious?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I praise the Most High Allah.
For sure, I figured that.
Allah, for sure.
I figured that. Was you doing that before you went down, or did you come to meet Allah while you was locked down? How'd that go for you?
Well, I've been a Muslim all my life. I've been fasting since I was like 10. But unfortunately, my dad, may God rest his soul, he was a Muslim. That's why I got my last name Jafari. I got a Muslim last name. My dad was Muslim. So, all my dad taught me about Islam was that, like we don't pray to Jesus. Muhammad was the prophet, and we worship Allah, and we don't eat pork. That's all I knew about Islam.
Okay.
That's it. But when I went to prison, I started learning more about it. I learned a lot about a lot of religions.
For sure.
So, I studied it all.
Do you think, I was talking to my godmother, we're raised Christian. I was telling her that I felt like, to my knowledge, most of the religions teach a certain respect and a certain code of just how to treat men and just treat people, period. Do you think that most religions kind of have a common ground on kind of being good people? Or what would you think about that, since you probably study more than I have?
Well, all the, I mean, especially the main religions, the main three religions, which got the most people who practice those, which would be Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. I mean, it's really all the same religion. It's not
Okay.
different religions, because if you go in there and read, when I first read the Bible, I thought, I was going to read something different. But the Bible pretty much says what the Quran says, and the Quran says this. Allah says this in the Quran, that the Quran is nothing new. It's only a confirmation of what came before it. So it's telling you that this is just a confirmation of the Bible, really, or the Torah, however you want to call it, because the Torah is basically the Old Testament. But if you go back to it, who Abraham, which all religions say they believe in, he the father of faith, so the people who are practice Judaism, they say they follow Abraham because Moses did. They worship the God of Abraham. Christians who follow Jesus, they say that they follow the God of Abraham. And Muslims say they follow the God of Abraham. So when you look at it, we can't all be in really a different religion if all the prophets are saying they worship in the same God as Abraham.
Okay.
It's one. It's just that it comes to a point where people choose that, how the Jews didn't want to accept Jesus. So sometimes that's how things get separated, is because sometimes we don't want to accept things from other people.
That's deep, and I'm glad. I trust your knowledge, because you ain't never been a dummy to me. You know what I mean? So,
sure not.
Not never. You, first of all, one thing you know about me, man, I pick and choose who I listen to. I'm not everybody's biggest fan. You know what I mean? I know that I met you from a super duper stand up guy, and 50 Keys, killer cow, and he knows what I like and who I don't before I get to meet him. And he wouldn't come on, man. He wouldn't introduce us if I wouldn't see eye to eye to you. You know what I mean? When I put this up, I'm gonna send him this. Have you talked to him at this particular?
I talked to him for like 10 seconds when I first came home, and I haven't talked to him since. I had to, because my PO had came. As soon as he called me. As soon as he called, the PO was knocking on my door.
PO ain't shit, man. PO ain't shit. Yeah,
I know 50 be busy, so I try to call him a few times, but I've been busy myself too, so I ain't really had a chance to tap in with him like I want to.
Man, hey, you know how that dude is, and
yeah, for
he
sure.
He ain't gonna pressure you. He just, I know that he's probably happy that you on the vibe that you on, because so we've all changed, and he's definitely changed for the better. And I'm not, when I say for the better, nothing was wrong with the dude. He's still solid. He's still that dude. But I remember me and him was in G Parkway, and we were making we were both pretty much saying that we didn't want to end up in certain places. You know what I mean? And we didn't want to be fake or go against the grain and not end up in the places. And the easiest way to not end up in the places was to change the our environments and some of the decisions that we would normally make. You know what I mean? So, he's found a way to remain solid and still be yourself, but still make changes. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
yeah, some people have come home and they weren't where you are right now, or where he was. And we had to watch some of our loved ones do a 3 or 4 or 5 year bid, come home for a month or two, and then give the rest of their natural life up. And one thing I will say about my little brother is he can learn a lot off of other people's misfortunates, to say it in the most respectful way. You know what I mean? So I got faith in you, man. I think that you're gonna do everything that you want to do. You know what I mean? And probably more than that. You know what I mean? Because your head is in the right place. For those who've never been down or had to miss a big chunk of their life like you, man, how'd it feel not being around your daughter for all the time?
Oh man, that's horrible. When you a real man though, and you You want to be there for your family. It ain't even just my daughter though, my whole family though. You feel me? So that's a horrible feeling. You can't be there for your child or your family and stuff like that. You gotta kind of find ways to cope with that. You feel me? And it was a blessing that my mom, she was able to bring my daughter to see me pretty much every week, almost every week for at least the first 7 years I was in prison. I seen my daughter every week, sometimes twice a week.
Where were some of the joints that you was at? And I know with the amount of time that you had, you started out as a level 4, more than likely, right?
Well, I started off as a level 3, and then getting in trouble got sent to a level 4.
Where was you at? Where's the first joint you went to after you left Tracy?
Solano.
Okay. I was across the street. I was in Wackyville. Solano be busting. It's a good little first term prison. It'll get you used to it, but it can get better or it can get worse.
I got there. It was it all the thugs was there, so it was
Sacramento's
like
backyard. That's Sacramento's backyard.
All popped out. People threw me cell phones, all types of stuff. Like, what's up with it, man? You feel me? So it was kind of popping. It ain't that far to my house. I was getting visits. You feel me? And then me getting in trouble and stuff like that with the police and cell phones. They sent me to the level 4 high desert.
Woo!
That's horrible.
Hey, hold on. You know that's the last joint I went to, right?
That place horrible.
Yeah. You ain't got to say, look, man. Hold on. Now this is your interview, but I'm gonna reiterate a little bit. So I'm living in the mob and I got it dirty, right? Police come to my house, they snatch me up. I'd already been out for like maybe a year. My son finna be born in like probably like 15, 16 days. I'm over there living at 36 Caselli, I think, right? They come snatch me. Bam. I go to Tracy. I'll take the little 90 days or whatever. I'm out of Tracy quick, right? They like, you going to HDSP or something like that. Like, where is that? We get on the bus, we headed towards Reno. And when we get to Reno, we take the little loop. And then I find out I'm going across the street from Susanville, right? And yeah, you know it. And when we get there, right? Mind you, I only been to one other, regular penitentiary besides Tracy. When we get off we don't get off the bus. When the bus stop, it's snowing, and the warden come get on the bus. Did they do you like this? Did they, when we were there, they were like, yeah, welcome to High Desert State Penitentiary. For your safety, we need to know your gang affiliation that you want to be housed with. Did they do y'all like that?
Yep.
Okay.
But they didn't do it to us on the bus. We came in there, they make you straddle the chair, they talk they little shit. They hella racist up there.
Hella.
They talk they shit. They taught us, they give no warning shots. They shoot all cans.
Yes.
They shoot Africans,
yes.
Mexicans, Asians.
Yeah. They told us on the bus though. We didn't even get off the bus. You had to stay. Hey, when I went there, bro, you had to stay. If you was a sucker, then you was a sucker, because you was finna tell everybody what you was. And if you was outnumbered, you was just outnumbered. And I had to tell them what it was all the time in front of everybody. But I was like, oh, this is it. There's no hiding. Not that I was, but I'm just saying, like, there was a level of you can smell death in the air in High Desert. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it wasn't.
If a show was popping.
Yeah, it wasn't to be played with. Was you anywhere more jumping than that?
Nah, no. Listen, High Desert. I mean, I done been in places where it's jumping and be big riots and stuff like that. It's more politics going on against other different races. But High Desert, it was popping amongst everybody, and I ain't never seen people trip against each other like that at no prison except for High Desert. I mean, it was a stabbing every day. We stayed on. That's why I made it off that level of folks, because I never came out. As soon as you come out, the alarm go off. You be outside in 5 seconds. The alarm for sure going off. Somebody getting stabbed.
Yeah, I stopped. I realized in High Desert that gangbanging wasn't important to me no more. When I came in on whatever the level 3 dorm was, and then some shit had happened on the level 4 yard, and then they switched all the black people to over there, and then brought all the white boys to the level 3 dorm. And I never forget, I had a bunkie named Big Vin. He was a Crip out of big old fat black Crip that was from Palm Springs, and it was Tweety from Compton and a few other Crips, and they came to me, and I thought we was going to get down, and they was like, "Hey, homie, do you need some food?" And I was like, "Huh?" They was like, I was like, "Y'all know I'm a Rue, right?" And they was like, we ain't sweating none of that. We kind of know who you is, and we at war with these Mexicans, and you gonna get down." And I was like, "Yeah." And they was like, "Well, we gonna make sure that you straight." You know what I mean? And it was all love. And me being on that yard, I seen that the gangbanging didn't come first. It was like, if we gonna rock right now for the better of our health, against these Southern Mexicans, then I don't want to be tripping with you after we fight. You know what I mean? It just, to me, it didn't make no sense for me and any black man to be tripping, knowing that I was on parole and I might end up anywhere and have to rock with a dude, no matter the color of their flag or where they was from. It just felt like that was an issue that I really didn't need. So ever since 2003, me being in High Desert, 2002, being in High Desert, the gangbanging really wasn't important to me. You know what I mean? It just,
yeah, for sure.
It's a waste of time. And I know, some things I did in my past, it kind of make it kind of hard for me to say these things, but bro, that shit is small in the big scheme of things. And then even we can let the race part be down and let that go and just say all of us are locked up for the most part. We all against these police in the bigger scheme of things. You know what I mean? So I just feel like people should pick their battles. We need to stop being like those things that be in a bucket trying to hold everybody down. I don't want to disrespect anybody's street religion. You know what I mean? But yeah, I be trying to be so politically correct because I love everybody now. You know what I mean?
I feel you though.
Yeah, we don't gotta be like that. People poor people need to stop pulling other people down just because of some bullshit that really don't mean nothing in the longer scheme of things. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you most of the regular questions that I ask people. We done talked about the joints. We done talked about what would you tell yourself, the younger you. Your daughter messing with boys yet?
Yeah, she most definitely is. I be talking to her about that type of stuff. She every once in a while, she come to me, tell me about a boy she like or something. I be trying to give her some game.
How old is she?
She's 16.
Okay, I got one of them too. What type of fellas do she like? She like nerds, or she like the type of dudes that you was before you was going down? Like, what's she attracted to?
Yeah, she know them. I'm gonna say thug. She like them the boys that be rapping about all the gang stuff.
Okay.
They turned up. She like that type of shit.
Do you think that's just what she attracted to, or do you think that she know what you was about when you was about what you was about?
Nah, for sure not.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's based on
what's popular.
Exactly, what's popular. Her being inside of because she when I got out, I got custody of her, but she she was with her mom, so in that household, it was more like you could do what you want.
Okay.
Listen to what you want to listen to. And she got older brothers and sisters, and that's what they own. They real Iraq babies.
Okay, I got it.
And that's what they own.
Okay, yeah, and I know what that means. Regardless that me being from the east side, before I ever seen the east, I lived in the View and I went to school in the P. So I'm influenced a little different than a lot of cats that are from the same soil as me. And as you know, when I came home, when I paroled, I was in the South. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I speak your language. very well. I know what all that's about, man. You know, I was born in the 70s, so growing up in the 80s, I remember when there wasn't really no divisions like that. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? And with me growing up, living in the View, but going to school and daycare centers in the P, and going to church in South Sacramento, I know some of everybody from everywhere. So we won't go directly into the hood politics of who doesn't get along with who, but some of my favorite people don't get along with some of my other favorite people. And man, it done went so far that we can't erase it because both sides have lost some real important loved ones, man. But I hate that my Iraq people, I won't even say I hate that my loved ones don't love my other loved ones. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
now we're grown, you're grown, I'm grown. I got grandkids. You're not too far from being a granddad, even if it's 5 to 10 years from now. You know what I mean? And your daughter is out there, and more than likely she might end up liking somebody that's affiliated with something. You know what I mean? And that's kind of why my kids are out here, but this ain't no different than out there. You know what I mean? It's different, but the rules still apply. We got the same type of things people think are cool out here. They got their little issues and their gangs and stuff. They just not the same gangs that we got back home. Man, do you have any knowledge or any game? What can we do to get it to where people can grow up, or does everybody just have to live their life and miss some loved ones to figure it out? What do we do?
I mean, I look at it like this. I'm gonna keep it real. Since the beginning of time, people gonna find a reason not to like each other.
For
It
sure.
just, Cain and Abel. You feel me?
Okay.
They were
For sure.
brothers. So when people come together, they start to form groups. Because even people in their own neighborhoods is beefing with each other in their own.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I believe that's just something on I'm just kind of like just looking at it, being real and being a kind of religious at it at the same time, putting it together, is that God already said that there was going to be division in man's hearts. And then on top of
Okay.
that, you watch and you see that, it's always people that's going to envy, that's going to hate, and all that being bred is always going to have somebody choosing sides with somebody else when somebody else don't like somebody. Like people always say, a lot of beef was started over women.
Yeah, or
So
money. Or money. Yeah.
it's always going to be some type of divide between mankind on this earth. I don't believe that it's ever just going to be peace. So it just, like in Islam, it always says, save your family first. You feel me? Fix yourself and go save your family. So it's best to try to pull your people out of that cycle of being divided amongst everybody. Oh, I'm this, so I can't mess with you, or you that, and I don't like that person. That mindset is keeping people back, because you might be missing a blessing from somebody that really could have elevated you lightweight. You feel me? So missing good friendships, but people do that based on envy, hate, jealousy, all these things. You feel me? These are sicknesses of the heart that we got to get rid of. If we don't get rid of these sicknesses, it's always going to be divide amongst any type of people, no matter who it is, whether it's blacks, whites, Russians, Ukrainians, whatever it is. It's always going to be some type of divide, because everybody wants to what's the word I'm looking for? Don't nobody want to feel like they're less of.
For sure.
And this is how they, and that's another sickness, how they think of it. Oh, this dude got more than me, he think he better. But ain't nobody said that. You feel that way.
Hey,
And when that happens, it's a whole lot of bullshit, man. And for them reasons, and that ain't never gonna leave. That's a sickness that's never gonna leave every man heart. So
okay.
so division is always gonna be amongst us till we die, and it ain't nothing you could do about it.
Nothing.
Nobody can create peace. It's just not gonna happen. It's the only thing you could do is fix yourself. That's why God always tells you to work on yourself. We can't work on other people. You feel me? You could try to give, you could try to help people, but you know how they say you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Absolutely.
So you know,
I want to say something about something that you just said when you were saying that people think they better. So I made a couple changes, a few of them. I stopped drinking. I stopped drinking. Uh, I stopped smoking. I ain't had a drink in about 2.5 years. I ain't smoked in about a year, right? When I
yeah,
moved out here, some people start feeling like I felt like I was better than them. Hey, baby. They people felt like I thought that I was better than them because I stopped drinking. And what I started telling them was, nah, I think I'm better than me. I don't think I'm
exactly.
better than you. I think I'm better than what I was. And I would start pointing out to people certain things that I was still doing that other people might not have a problem with, but I was disappointed in myself that I could stop eating pork, but I can't stop cussing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I was disappointed in myself that I could stop drinking and smoking weed, but I can't stop eating cupcakes and I'm a diabetic. You know what I mean? So I was telling people like, yeah, I'm proud that I'm not doing this, but I have such a big I have such a big list of other things that I want to fix that's not necessarily easy to me. You know what I mean? Like I'm proud of these certain things, but I'm still disappointed in myself for some stuff that I feel like is so small I should be able to tiptoe over, but it ain't easy. So I agree with you with that the thing about people feeling like somebody else better than them or whatever. Like it's terrible, man. I wish we could fix this shit.
I mean, unfortunately, it ain't a problem that could be fixed. After somebody else fix how they think, somebody else is gonna think that way.
Yeah,
It's just the way
no,
it is.
you're right. You explained it in the most eloquent way that it could be that it would make sense. You know what I mean? Because we're only in control of ourselves, and a lot of us at sometimes aren't even in control of that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it takes a person that's real deep into themselves to be able to control their emotions. You know what I mean? Because I've seen a lot of times where people can't control themselves. I mean, we got people walking into churches, shooting up churches. We got people going to malls, shooting people that they ain't never met in their life. So, you know what I mean? How do you feel about those type of things when you turn on the news and you see that some fella just decided to grab an AR-15 and go shoot up everybody at the Starbucks, or people can't run marathons no more. I know you, since you're a Muslim, I know you don't have any fear, but does that stuff ever make you be like, do you ever think about what if my daughter was there, or do you just try to keep that
no,
type
for
of shit
sure,
up
for
your head?
sure.
Okay.
I think about that all the time, though. You gotta. It's always you gotta be cautious of what's going on in the world, because people is crazy nowadays. People do it like you said. People going in churches, shooting up churches,
Yeah.
uh, placing bombs. It's a lot of people who want to terrorize people. So you gotta be very mindful of that. So it's always in the back of my mind. With my loved ones. You feel
Yeah.
me? To make sure in any way possible I could prevent my loved ones from being hurt.
Yeah. You still working out?
Uh, mm, Here and there,
Here and there. Boy,
here and there.
you don't want to lose that penitentiary body, man. You don't want to lose that, man. You don't want to
Nah,
lose
for
that,
sure
man.
not.
Yeah, you don't want to
Hey,
lose
hey, nah,
that.
but my job, where I work at, it pretty much give me a cool workout.
How long did it take you to get a job? What you doing if you don't mind telling the people?
Probably like 30 days.
That's what's up.
It ain't hard to get a job if you really want one.
Man, you better say that. Hey, look, when I first came home, man, I was selling heroin when I was in prison, so I just didn't want to work when I came home. You know what I mean? I used that. I told myself every lie that anybody could ever tell themselves. But the last little time I got caught up, mind you, I stayed out of trouble. I didn't get caught doing nothing for about 17 years. I got caught up in somebody in a grow house or whatever, got a few days or whatever. But I was like, look, man, I can't afford no more hiccups. I'm 40 something years old. Another hiccup, I'll be gone till I'm 50 or 60. You know what I mean? So I changed the way I thought. And wasn't no job too small for me. You know what I mean? And I started working and started realizing that it made more sense than not working. You know what I mean? I got a 401k, I got good dental and all that. You can't tell by how these teeth look, but you know, everything is on the up and up with me. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I've never been more proud of myself than what I am. How do you feel every day getting up, clocking in for the you do you feel like you clocking in for the man, or I know you smart enough to know that you working for yourself, even though you just working at somebody else's place?
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm working because I'm on parole. I'm trying to get off early.
Okay, for
I'm
sure.
trying
But
to.
well, then that means you're working
I
for
most
yourself
definitely got
though.
my own plans to make my own money. You know, I rather work for myself.
Yeah, but if you working to get off parole, then you working for yourself.
Most definitely.
You see what I'm saying? Because you got your eyes on the prize. And so you know that they're not gonna give you what you want unless you give them what they want. So if you getting up clocking in for you to program and for them to be happy at the same time, you still getting paid for it. You know what I mean? And I know while you at work doing what the people need you to do, you sitting there plotting on a master plan that's not gonna have you in trouble. You know what I mean? So you that seems like a man who's working for themselves.
For sure.
You
I,
agree? You see where I'm going with that?
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, because I go to work, I'll be at work 30, I'll be in the parking lot 30 minutes before I need to clock in. You know what I mean? Then people could throw some dirt because I basically work at a plant, but I be cleaning up, right? Then people could look at me, look at the garbage can, throw something on the floor the opposite way of the garbage can, and I will pick it up and tell them thank you and keep walking. The old me don't exist. The old me would be like, man, you gotta be fucked up. You see it? Nah, it ain't even none of that. If that's how you want to play it, you keeping me with a job. That's why they paying me to clean up because y'all not smart enough to put the garbage where it goes. So they got to pay me more money than they pay you to clean up after you. I have no problem with it at all. Even when I have a problem with it, I have no problem with it at all, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Hey, Diddy, it's getting a little late out here. I want to give you your flowers before I get up off this thing. So what I want to say is, man, regardless if I knew you or not, but I do. So it makes me more proud of you to see the man that you grown up to be. You didn't come out with a sour taste in your mouth. You didn't blame anybody for some of the decisions that you might have made. It don't even sound like you blaming the sucker who told on you. You know what I mean? I hear like you taking 100% ownership of the things that went down in your life. You sound very mature. You don't sound bitter, and I know that you're gonna be very successful, man. And I'm proud of you. I'm so
Appreciate it.
yeah. I'm so glad that you back home where you need to be, and you don't really sound like you missed a beat. I know you know I mean I know you missed some beats because you was gone, but man, that smile on your face says a lot, brother. And you're looking good. Stay healthy. Stay spreading that positive word that you got, man. And I want to get back with you in some months because I know some things are gonna change for you. You know what
For
I mean?
sure.
Stay up
No, it's
on it,
good, man.
brother.
Anytime, all you gotta do is tap in.
I got you, man. Some more things happen in the world. I'll call you and we'll get together and we'll talk about your opinions on some of the latest events that are happening throughout the world. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I do know some people that are still away at college. That's what I like to call it. That might have access to being on a Zoom call. Send some solid dudes my way, and I'm gonna send you this link when I put it up on YouTube, and I want you to send this to the people that still, you know what I mean, laid up
Yeah,
on
for
the
sure.
solid on them concrete slabs, man. I love you, man. Like a chick love high heels and Louis Vuittons, man. You know what I mean? You you stay at it, man. I love you like a diabetic love Dunkin' Donuts, man. You do your thing, man, and you stay spreading that positive word, man. You be smooth, and I appreciate you giving me your time, brother.
Most definitely, man. I send mine back to you for sure.
It's all good, man. Fat partner loves you, big dog. You be smooth, bro.
I love you too, brother.
For sure. Yes, sir.